Hi, it's Jochen, the online agent. And today I'm going to give you a brief update on how specifically AI has impacted the real estate agency business as well as the marketing. I have now a couple of examples for you that I've screenshot up front before we go into the live demo. And I simply asked ChatGPT, why should I use you without any context? So it says you can do, for example, information retrieval, but note it's as of 2021. So the latest info you will not get unless you have a paid account. You can do language translation, writing assistance. That's what we're going to go into shortly, to write articles, to write advertisements, to write headlines, etc. Or you can simply practice with it in a foreign language and also personalize user experience, which is a big thing in marketing. Right, so people want to hear what they want to hear. So you have to adjust your message accordingly. Then I asked ChatGPT why you should buy a new launch property rather than a resale property, because myself, I'm focusing on new launches. Of course, you can ask the reverse question if you do a resale property, and it'll come up obviously with a different answer. But I must say it's not totally complete, but it's pretty decent. For example, customization, warranty, better financing options, potential capital appreciation, and probably better amenities than old houses, condos, etc. And if you look at the language, it writes in proper, grammatically correct sentences, and I find it pretty amazing. I mean, all this was obviously written by a software computer and not a human being. Now, I start with an example of a bad question, because you probably also heard that saying, garbage in, garbage out. All right, so if you don't ask the right questions, ChatGPT might not give you the right answer. Totally out of context, I've asked ChatGPT to write me an ad for property listing. Why is this a bad question? Yes, it's relevant, but it's bad because it's totally unspecific. What kind of listing? Is it a house? Is it a condo? Is it a beachfront? Is it a city center? Is it a good location? Is it this or that? Give it a bit more context and it can come up with a better answer. But nevertheless, it came up with certain features like interior, kitchen, etc., amenities, and so on, which for out of context question, actually, I think is not too bad. But I'm going to show you how to ask better questions and what the answers are. I'll do this as a live demo, so I also don't know what it's going to say. But if it doesn't give me the right answer, of course, I can always, like in real life, when you talk to a human being, rephrase my question and ask again. And over time, ChatGPT will actually learn what you have asked. It will memorize it and eventually get to know what you're really after and give you better answer. That's the power of artificial intelligence, right? It's not static. It learns, it improves over time. And that's pretty awesomely amazing. So I'm going to switch now from the presentation to my browser and have a chat with ChatGPT. Okay, so I've switched over from the presentation to my browser right now to ChatGPT itself. As I mentioned earlier, the URL is chat.openai.com. And ChatGPT actually remembers your previous chats, what you have done. And this was the last one I did, the one I showed you just now. And if you like, you can also share a link to this chat for another user, to, let's say, your colleague or somebody you collaborate with, in order to let them have this as well. So I'm going to have a chat with ChatGPT right now, and let's ask it about funnels. For example, I could ask a question: what is the most effective way to use funnels in real estate digital marketing today? You should phrase your question as specifically as possible. Let's see what it comes out with. Quite a lengthy article. These are the 4 stages that apply to marketing. And then, of course, the 5th one, the retention stage. So this is how a funnel works, as I have also taught you earlier. I'll post a screenshot of this into the presentation so that you have it available as well. So let me ask it another question. How can I best use follow-up funnels? Automated email sequences. personalized communication. As I said, this is quite important these days too. Or drip campaigns, sending little bit by bit every day, perhaps a small piece of information, so that the client essentially retains awareness about you. And I ask it, why is a funnel useful in real estate marketing? For beginners, I will always include the real estate marketing, but after a while, I will not have to do that anymore because it can remember what I'm talking about here, this subject. Sometimes it can take a bit of time, so just bear with it. All right, so here we got our answer. We can use a funnel for lead generation or lead nurturing once we have the lead to keep in touch. For segmentation and personalization, that depending on your client segments, you don't send them the same email, but different. Efficient resource allocation, so you have less work to do. You can optimize your conversion, which is obviously something that you really want to, and build long-term relationships. So that is why we use funnels. Play around with it, ask your own questions to ChatGPT, see what comes out, and most likely you'll be amazed. And if not, ask a different question. I wish you all the best. Jochen, the online agent.